speaking on Monday.
Monday at 11 o'clock. Jeffrey Tucker is speaking at noon on Monday.
Jeffrey Tucker's a big one. So lots of big names here. And the schedule is just chock full of stuff. You can't do everything at PorcFest.
And it's not just speakers and events and panels. It's parties and events and social Buzz's the grand finale of Buzz's Big Gay Dance Party.
The last one
I'm
ever.
hosting a polyamory party. It's a social mixer. Seditious Sirens are going to be throwing a party while they record their show on Wednesday, I think they are.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's too many things.
But whatever.
There's
but
so many things.
There. Go and try to get an idea for everything that's happening. Go to porkfest.com, porcfest.com. There's stuff for kids. There's stuff for families. There's stuff for young people, singles, couples, whatever. It's
there
all
are
happening.
two cooking events. There's Brunch Fest, which is in its second year, and then there's also the One Pot Cook-Off that is, I believe, Thursday.
Correct. It actually is right before the poly party. So you could go eat your food and then come to the poly party.
All right. This I saw, and I thought it might have been a mistake, but no, apparently it is a masquerade ball. What do you know about it? Do you know anything about this?
As far as I have a broad idea about it. There's going to be dancing classes all week long, and then those will be the type of dances they do during the masquerade ball. But there's so many.
That's Mayor Tony that's running that, correct?
Correct. In the past, it's always been like the main organizer kind of doing everything. This year, there's a whole team of people with lead organizers doing different things. There's someone doing strictly just the pavilion, someone doing Agora Valley, someone doing the Creating Communities tent, which is I'm really excited about that track because that's all it's DIY stuff. It's shows. There's going to be improv, beergasm. There's yoga. Yoga.
Yuri is hosting yoga at this, and I believe there's another one.
There's going to be a cuddle party. Randy is having a cuddle party. That's going to be fun.
Brian Sovereign will be recording Sovereign Tech live.
So much happening. We're going to bring as much of it to you as we can in the 3 hours a night that we'll have to talk about it. Cecilin, you're heading down there tomorrow to get set up and get rolling. So thanks for coming on tonight. I know you're super busy. Appreciate it. See you tomorrow. Online in the meantime, freetalklive.com. Don't forget Daryl. He's got a website. It's fpp.cc. See you tomorrow.
Seditious Sirens is up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keenanshire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, June 19th, 2015. Silver is trading at $16.19 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,202 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $249. Antiwar.com reports the first 3 days of the Yemen peace talks in Geneva were pretty unproductive, but at least no one got hit. The situation took a turn for the worse on Thursday when the Houthis' attempt to hold a press event was attacked by supporters of the Hadi faction. Houthi delegate Hamza al-Houthi was delivering his address to the assembled media when one of the Hadi delegates rushed the stage and threw a shoe at him. Shoes started flying back and forth despite Houthis' attempt to keep talking and ignore the disruption, and before long, fistfights were reported between the two factions. The Hadi government resigned back in January after the Houthis had taken over the capital city of Sana'a. Saudis attacked Yemen in March, demanding the Hadi forces be reinstalled. After 3 months of war, however, there is no sign of this happening, and the Houthis still control most of the country. The peace talks got off to a bad start when the Hadi faction demanded that the Houthis surrender every city in the country as a condition of direct talks. Very little has come of the peace talks, however, and the fight is probably going to be the most noteworthy thing that's happened. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Coinbase. Coinbase is a simple and secure online Bitcoin wallet for sending, receiving, and storing Bitcoin. Coinbase also allows you to buy and sell Bitcoin using a bank account or use their tools to accept Bitcoin as a merchant. All of your funds on Coinbase are safe, with approximately 90% of customer funds being stored offline, and all wallets are stored using AES 256 encryption. Get started at coinbase.fppradio.com. UPI reports the Federal Communications Commission on Thursday voted in favor of covering broadband internet access for low-income households with a telephone subsidy program it has offered for 30 years. 3 of the 5 members of the FCC voted in favor of reforming the program called Lifeline to include web access. Established in 1985, the Lifeline program has provided qualifying low-income Americans with $9.25 per month subsidy towards phone service. Thursday's vote favors expanding it to include broadband internet, though the final structure of what that may look like is yet to be determined. Expanding the program still needs further government approval, where there is opposition to the expansion proposal. Some critics believe the $2 billion per year Lifeline program is already rife with abuses and fraud, and that the existing program should be fixed before it should be expanded. One Republican commissioner said in a report by The Hill, "We still have a long way to go if we are going to fix this program. Waste, fraud, and abuse are still rampant." In a news release Thursday, however, the FCC indicated that abuses of Lifeline have largely been eliminated and that further reforms are being developed to make sure that the program is helping the poor it's designed to help. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the U.S. Supreme Court on Thursday unanimously reinstated an Ohio man's conviction for beating his girlfriend's children after he sent her thousands of miles away to engage in prostitution. The 9 justices rejected the arguments made by defendant Darius Clark that testimony given during trial by preschool teachers who talked to one of the victims, his girlfriend's 3-year-old son, should have been disallowed. The testimony in question, in which the teacher pressed the boy on injuries they had noticed, did not violate Clark's rights under the U.S. Constitution's 6th Amendment to confront his accusers, according to the court. Clark was convicted of abusing the 3-year-old boy and the boy's 18-month-old sister. He was sentenced to 28 years in prison, but appeals court threw out the conviction, saying the teacher's testimony at trial was impermissible evidence. Teachers at the boy's preschool noticed what appeared to be injuries, and
you are such an asshole.
Yes.
I was like prepared to make myself look like an asshole. Hi, Ellen. Renee finally made it.
I told you. Oh my god, my head just bumped into the screen.
I had no faith
This
in
has
you.
been FPP Radio News. Online at FPP.
You're just in time.
Radio.
Put on the fucking headphones.
After a flood
Where's
of
the Renee
customer
cake?
complaints, Kay Jewelers issued an immediate recall
should
this
get
week
that.
of
It's
over
over
2
there.
million purse, engagement, and wedding rings. The company's director of public relations released an apology to those
I press.
affected.
You
I can
need to hit
assure
record
our
on my
customers
cast.
that we were not aware
Good
our
idea.
manufacturers were sourcing diamonds tainted by the Darkling Urla. We're strongly recommending customers who have not yet returned their purchases for a full refund to place a mirror in a bowl of black salt.
God, I
Mold
look
a
like
copy of
shit.
Your image out of clay and your mother's hair.
Is it just
and
me or
then
the
burn
YouTube
copy
feed?
in the mirror before
The
taking it
YouTube
home.
feed.
Industry experts are calling this the most egregious
Oh my
safety
God,
oversight
so
in
I'd rather
jewelry
you do the
production
intro.
since 1973, when Zales disturbed the
You're
world's
out of breath from
most sensitive
speeding?
sorcerer mailer.
No, I booked ass up the stairs too.
Yeah, it'll help that.
They send us this disclaimer suggesting we leave the changeling in the wood and return only at our own peril.
Yeah, cigarettes help you when you're out of breath.
They sure do.
Welcome to Seditious Sirens. How's everyone doing out there tonight?
I'm sure just as awesome as I am.
Renee's catching her breath from speeding by smoking a
No.
cigarette.
Well, yeah.
It's just all the contradictions. Light it up, girl. Light it up.
Don't worry, I got it.
Oh my God. I am your rebel mistress.
And I'm Renee Kate Free Love.
Cake, she means. Anyway.
Whatever, fuck you.
And do you realize it's countdown to Pork Fest?
1 week till our epic Pork Fest beach ball bikini fucking bash.
Cecilia was generous. The Cecilin was generous enough to mention us on Free Talk Live a little bit earlier.
She was.
Oh yeah, she is. She's gonna be a special
Aw.
guest on our show. We're gonna have a lot of
Cecilin.
special guests on our show.
We sure are.
Yeah, and free booze and
boobs.
bikinis. Yes, and boobs. Lots of boobs. So I don't know. I'm trying to petition Derek J to wear a bikini. I think that you guys should definitely write him and be like, Derek J, we'd love to see you in a bikini, you know?
Yeah.
And then that'll make him, that'll make him more comfortable. I
He
think.
looks great in a Speedo. Derek J, if you're listening, I miss the Don't Strip Our Rights.
Oh,
protest.
yes. Oh, he
Those
was
are kick-ass.
cute. He
And
could
you
wear a
look
bow
adorable.
tie.
Yeah, wear a bow tie and a Speedo.
We're giving you a reason to wear a bow tie and a Speedo. Like, what more could you possibly want?
Yeah.
Well, I think on this show, me and Renee are going to talk about polyamory. I don't feel like we've talked about it. I feel like we just talked about it with the boys.
We've touched on it here. Never got too in depth.
Well, I think we're gonna get a little bit in depth, get deep in it.
This
so
is
I
it.
don't. Yeah, this is it.
This is the great polyamory debate of 2015.
Is it 2015 still? Okay, I think we should kind of maybe just slow it down a little and read like a definition of polyamory.
Go for it.
But I can't even find the definition. I didn't even have it ready. Wait, I need to get the appropriate Webster dictionary.
Prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
Do you know how many polyamory definitions there are? Jesus, I did a whole video. Okay, can I just tell the story? The great story of the Shire Dude video. I know a lot of people have been talking about Shire Dude tonight, so it's gonna be so funny.
I love it.
But basically, polyamory has millions of terms basically, and so this girl decided to do a project which she invited me on, where we do a video with all the polyamory definitions, which happens to be the video that the Shire Dude of shiredude.com filled for Whole Girl.
The artist formerly known as Oh Girl.
Oh, okay. So he filmed it. I was in that video, and that's the video he used in Shire Dude, the season finale, which is an awesome video. I think that video is awesome. I like Shire Dude. I like his stuff. I think it's funny. But yeah. So we did a whole video on polyamory. So if you really want to get into it, you can go watch that video. It's actually really cute. I thought so. I mean, extortionist dude. Obviously, some people
Stop Shire Dude.
stop Shire Dude.
Go like it on Facebook. He's becoming a fucking problem in this community.
He is. We
Stop
need to
Shire
stop
Dude.
him. Let's just all get together and stop them. Okay, so here's the definition of polyamory: the state or practice of maintaining multiple sexual and or romantic relationships simultaneously. I guess that is the PC definition. I think I like to define it as free love.
Well, this is ironic.
I
isn't
know
it?
it is so ironic because okay, as you know, this is gonna be a debate, but Renee Cake Free Love over here is just defiling her name in every single way. But I guess we can get more into that, and I do want to read off a lot of these definitions because some of them are a little bit ridiculous, and I mean I don't really like titles, but that's why I like the term free love, because I feel like that's not putting anyone in a title. Like, you can call me a free lover.
And we apologize for the background noise. The police are coming to get us finally, so we're hiding. Don't mind us. But yeah, free love.
I didn't do anything recently.
They're probably looking for the bitch in the red car who like went 90 through Elm Street. So.
Oh God, your car's not easy to hide either.
I know,
because it's so red. Mistakes. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to read some statistics just so you can get an example and not just think that, you know, this we're just the weird people. Maybe we are, because it's kind of a small statistic, and I got it website I like. It's called Live Science. Check it out. They have some good articles. Very alternative stuff. But it says researchers estimate that many as 5% of Americans are currently in relationships involving consensual non-monogamy, which I think is an even better definition for polyamory. See, so many definitions. Consensual non-monogamy.
But that is such a vast term.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. Okay, but it goes to say that is permission to go outside the couple looking for love or sex. I mean, that if I think it goes on and talk about the survey, blah blah blah, all that boring stuff. But I think, you know, what was asked is they're comparing polyamory and sex. And probably that was the statistic or the question that they asked. Like, oh, can your husband go and have sex with someone else? Oh, can your husband go and have like a romantic partner? Because I think people confuse romance and sex a little too much. I think there's a hard line between romance and just being sexually intimate with someone.
True. You're right.
Because I think that's why sometimes people. Okay, so an open relationship is the next kind of thing that I want to talk about, because I think people get those confused a lot. I think an open relationship, either way. Okay, let's freeze. Either way, I think no matter what all this stuff is, it involves honesty. So just like you would want honesty in a single relationship, you would want honesty in a non-monogamous relationship as well. I think it just takes a lot more honesty to date multiple people, but I think honesty is the first step. And if someone's being like non-honest to you, that's gonna make everything look bad. And I think that's what people think of when they think of, you know, someone having another partner is they're not being honest, because if they were being honest, someone would have a problem. Like, do you think that's a fair statement?
I mean, there are shitty people in monogamous relationships. There are shitty people in polyamorous relationships. There's a trashy way to do things, and there's the classy way to do things.
Yeah, you can be a whore, or you could be a cheap whore. So I think that's the way I like to think of it. Though, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's about what makes you happy, which I don't think that's what the debate lies in. Unless I'm confused. Because I think it's all about what makes you happy. And to me, multiple partners can make you happy. And to you think it's all about being happy, but how could you be happy if you had multiple partners?
I mean, I dabbled in polyamory a wee baby bit, and I just
Wait,
never...
I need you to go into detail.
Okay, so I was in an open relationship, if you will, and
I'm looking up the definition, people. Hold on.
And you know, I did hook up with other people, and you know, at the time it's like, oh yeah, great, this is exciting, a new person and passion and blah shit. But now I look back on it And it's like, oh, sex, big deal. And even after, like during, like I would think and be like, oh, like this doesn't feel right. Like something is missing. Like this is not all it's cracked up to be. Like, yay, sex, but like I have someone at home waiting for me.
Okay, but that's why, I mean, okay. So first of all, open relationship. Any relationship that is not sexually monogamous, any relationship that permits outside sexual engagements, but that are not loving or any form of romantic relationships. Okay, so we'll get into the difference when we come back. We need to change our bumpers.
And I'm going to shut the window.
Send us some ideas.
Stay tuned.
If you want to move to the free state and you're looking for some real estate.
Oof, I think we've all had enough of that jingle, don't you? If you're going to invest in property in New Hampshire, it just makes sense to support a Liberty-friendly realtor. Call Mark Warden of Team Porcupine Real Estate for investment property or rentals in the Free State, or visit his website. Come on, you know it.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
A majority of Americans are pointing to Friday's tragedy as a clear call for major reforms in everything, or literally anything at all that might prevent acts of horrifying, senseless violence. According to a recent ONN poll, the nation is united in saying that the key to preventing future tragedies is a drastic change in gun control, mental health care, school security, media coverage, violent entertainment, the fragility of the human condition, and really so many other things we probably haven't even thought of yet. Jesus. The Randolph Center for Public Health and Safety also released a statement saying, quote, "If you look at statistics regarding gun violence in the United States, you'll see the recent shooting is a clear cry for any thing at all to please be different." In Washington, lawmakers have reached a bipartisan agreement that the U.S. desperately needs tighter firearm restrictions or looser firearm restrictions, or honestly, whatever option just makes these things stop. Do that one.
This is the Onion News Network. Instead of just listening, you can also watch. See the Liberty Radio Network's key New Hampshire-based live shows via our studio cam at cam.lrn.fm. Plus, you'll still be able to listen to the Liberty Radio Network via the cam feed in high quality 24/7, even when there's no live show being produced in our Keene studio. But wait, there's more. Our chat room is built into the cam page so you can interact with other listeners online. Listen, watch, and chat. All free at cam.lrn.fm. That's cam.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you're helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at weusecoins.com. That's weusecoins.com.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. You likely buy all kinds of things online. Amazon is the largest online retailer. You can get what you need, same great prices, and LRN gets a cut. Please do your online shopping at shop.lrn.fm.
What if the key to achieving liberty in your lifetime was to move together with others who think like you? Liberty activists are joining the Free State Project, which is over 70% of the way to its goal of 20,000 participants. And they're already making the move to New Hampshire. The successes are piling up and are proving the Free State Project is a real movement and no longer just a great idea. When you're planning your move, consider Keene. Keene is famous for its civil disobedience and non-cooperation, and there's plenty of political opportunity as well. From demonstrations and vigils to outreach and volunteering, there's a lot going on in Keene. Keene is the liberty media capital of the world, with television, talk radio, and more, all originating here. Though it's more than just activism, with regular social events each week. See what's happening at freekeen.com and get connected with video, audio, free books, a forum, and activist tools you can download and use in your area at freekeen.com. That's freekeen.com.
You can connect with the Liberty Radio Network via our Facebook page at facebook.lrn.fm. That's facebook.lrn.fm.
And welcome back to Seditious Sirens. Before we left, we were going into kind of the differences between, I guess probably misconceptions or just like the different kinds of alternative relationships you can be in. That's what I like to call it, alternative relationships. I think that sounds a lot more. I know I like these bland, vague terms, but I think people are different and every relationship is different. And sometimes things just don't fit into one particular class of things. But anyway, we were talking about open relationships. And I think the main difference with that is like you're just going out and having sex to fill like a purely physical need. But I think, I don't want to say that's like uninteresting, but I guess it's just uninteresting to me.
It's unfulfilling.
Yeah, I guess. I don't want to say that sometimes it's not okay to be sexually like adventurous and just like, just live your life for a little while. But I think eventually it's just like if you just kept getting money repeatedly for the rest of your life, like after a while, that's not going to mean anything. What are you going to be able to do? Like once you make a certain amount of income a year, it doesn't matter like how much more you make because what else are you fucking going to need? Like it's just useless at that point. And I think it's the same way with just having sex that doesn't mean anything. Not saying that it can't be like if you're like doing it purely as a way to, fill that physical need and you have that like intense physical need that you need to be filled. But I think at a certain point you got to ask, there has to be something more. Or I don't know. Some people don't give a fuck. So I don't know.
I didn't like it. How liberating. But at the same time, I was like, it's good that my partner was, allowing of me doing what I wanted to do and fulfilling my desires. But at the same time, I was like, damn, like if he hooked up with somebody else, I'd be so jealous. Like, how is he okay with me doing this?
Okay, so can I ask you a question in just like a purely like I can't even think of the word, but just take this hypothetical situation. You're not you're with a partner, but you guys aren't sexually interested in each other. I want to go into this a little later because I don't feel like I would ever be with someone I'm non-sexually interested in because I feel like sex is a giant part of a relationship, especially like great sex. Like I don't think it should be all the relationship's about, but that physical part is very, very important. But say you're in a relationship where that one partner isn't that into sex and he doesn't want to have sex. And so now he's encouraging you to go out and sleep with someone else. Does that make the situation different?
That's kind of what happened. Like, I was always like, hey, let's have sex. And, he would, but like, I never felt like he was doing it for him. He was only doing it to like please me. Like I wanted him to like actually want me and he never did, but like other boys did. And I wanted the other boys too. But, and
you wanted someone who could do all of those things. It shouldn't be like incomplete.
Yeah. Well, like I didn't want to be with anybody else but him, but at the same time I was like, I'm still young. Like, what if I never hook up with anybody else? And, that scared me. And, there have been lots of things where it's like, oh, what if I never do this? And then like it sucks. And then I like prom. I was like, oh, like I know this is going to suck, but like, what if it doesn't? And I miss out and I'll never know. And I went and it sucked, of course, and then I left. And that's exactly what I did with the hookups. It was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great, and not so much. Bye.
Well, I mean, I think I'm not gonna say, hey, go be the biggest whore in the world, which I mean, I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. Blame me if you want, but I'm saying, I think maybe like you have to find someone who maybe you connect with on that physical level, but you also, I don't know, like you could possibly see something more. I think it can't just all be physical. I think there has to be some kind of friendship involved, and that's why I think dating is good. I don't think you should just go out and just sleep with people, like, because how is that ever going to fulfill you? That's like it's just sex. There's nothing more. You guys don't know each other. You guys aren't going to get to know each other because you're just in it to use each other's bodily fluids. But that's all it's about. But that's why I think dating, it kind of forces you to get to know each other. And then, it's not just about sex. And then maybe you made a friend, even if you feel like, that's going to hurt the other person. But, you have to accept someone as a whole. You can't just accept their penis or accept their vagina. Especially if you're looking for something more, you have to give people the chance. And I think that's the problem with most open relationships is everyone's relying on this physical need, but we're more than physical beings. We're so emotional, too emotional. Jesus, like, especially me, you, everyone, especially at certain times a month.
I mean, well, not me. But yeah, like I want the whole package. I feel like I can be with somebody and be happy with them, even if everything is not fulfilled. Like,
no, that's not it though. You can't feel like, it's like a job. It's like I have a degree in management. Yay. And I can't even remember any of these fucking terms, but one of the terms was saying, like, when you hire someone, you have to hire the whole person. You can't just expect to hire a machine because you're hiring a person. Like, people get sick, people have problems, people have bad days, like, people aren't machines. And I think we're trying to look at people on just a purely what we need from them level, forgetting people fuck up all the time, just like we do. But you have to be invested. Like,
right. And when I'm in a relationship, I am. Like, I'm accepting
but everyone
of their
has
flaws
to be.
too.
Everyone has to be. It can't just be you. It can be 80-20. It has to, even if it's a little bit not in the middle, it has to be evenly proportionate. Like, because you can't give all of yourself to someone, and then, if they're not giving you anything back, I mean, you can, and someone should love you for that. Someone should love you for being, as, upfront and loving person as you want to be. I think people should love you for, you being yourself. But I think people are still people. People are still fuck ups. Like, you can't rely on them that much. You have to rely on your, your instincts and your heart. And that's one thing you can't do when you're just trying to make something just physical. It's really hard. You have to go out of your way not to get to know someone, like, it's a conscious effort.
And that's why I wouldn't want to just do hookups for the rest of my life. Well, more on polyamory and open relationships and alternative relationships and, oh my God, fuckery coming up. The debate is coming.
Polyfuckery.
Stay tuned.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and weed, the road to freedom. a film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadavi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Liberty activists around the country are starting to realize politics alone won't set us free. So what will? At Liberty on the Rocks, we believe the answer starts with living your principles, spreading ideas, and connecting with those around you. By starting a Liberty on the Rocks network, you can make a difference by uniting libertarian thinkers. Find out how much fun it is to build your local network from the ground up. Visit libertyontherocks.org today to get started.
Hey, I'm Ian Freeman, one of the hosts of Free Talk Live. I created Free Talk Live in 2002 as an alternative to traditional talk radio. I wanted a show where anyone could call in and bring up any topic without fear of being screened out. Combined with our libertarian voluntarist viewpoints, Free Talk Live is a unique syndicated radio show heard on FM and AM radio stations, coast to coast and beyond. I moved from my birthplace of Florida to New Hampshire in 2006 as part of the Free State Project. I'm also the program director of LRN.FM, which I launched in 2009 to create a place to present the best liberty-oriented audio programs from around the globe. I perform liberty outreach of all sorts and have done civil disobedience, non-cooperation, and run for office multiple times. Much of that's covered on my blog at freekeen.com. Thank you for listening to our shows. And if you want to support our work, please visit amp.freetalklive.com and contribute just $5 a month to our effective liberty outreach. That's amp.freetalklive.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit shiresociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at shiresociety.com. That's shiresociety.com.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
Welcome back to Seditious Sirens. We've been talking about polyamory. And, you know, we're just getting into it. We're just scrubbing the surface. Are you trying to give me a cigarette?
No, I'm nudging you.
Oh.
I'm nudging you.
Oh, okay.
Don't mind us.
I think
Fuckery
she's hitting
going
on me.
in the city. Yeah, I'm hating.
Or hitting.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, nah. No
Okay.
offense.
Okay. So
Incest.
polyfuckery, a term sometimes used to describe people who call themselves polyamorous while engaging in a large number of sexual relationships which are short-lived or not emotionally intimate. As Bob practices polyfuckery, would be a way to use that term. And I've met some polyfuckers. Would that be the right term for people who engage in polyfuckery?
Polyfuckery. Oh my God, I know somebody who perfectly fits that term. Can you think of who I'm thinking of?
I can think of who you're thinking of.
I bet our listeners at home got it too.
I can think of who you're thinking of.
We guarantee you you're right.
I mean, it's a lot of people who who claim to be polyamorous, like smearing the names. And it's a lot of people who just don't like poly people. Renee Cake being one of them. But I mean, I've met people who are worse because, like, literally, there's some people with strong opinions, I'd say, in this community, I guess. But really, at the end of the day, it's not your fucking business. So, like, why is your opinion so strong? But anyway, they just hate poly. They're so anti-poly. It's gonna be the death of the liberty movement. It's just a way because we don't have enough women. I don't know. Most times they're just mad because they're not getting laid as much as us. And I think if everyone was just getting laid a little bit more, everyone would just, calm down a little. But we can't all choose, so.
Well, here we go. I don't hate poly people. That's ridiculous. Why am I sitting next to you?
Well, I didn't say you hate me. You just hate my lifestyle.
I don't even hate your lifestyle. Well, I don't have to like it, but you do what you do. I don't smoke pot, but when people smoke pot around me, I'm not like, ugh. But, like,
so you're comparing that to poly, like, but
yeah,
okay.
Well, there's, you do what you do. I do what I do. I mean, honestly, how do I feel about it?
Yeah.
Personally, I don't like it. Like, it kind of grosses me out a little. And
what grosses you out
whatever.
about it? We have to go into detail.
Well, when I was indulging in multiple relationships, and there was a time where I was like kind of like it wasn't like official, but it was like I was clearly seeing this guy, like clearly seeing two guys at once, and it was like awkward, and I felt like neither one of the relationships was entirely legitimate. Like, it was missing something. And
okay,
it just
can we
wasn't
pause?
right.
That's not even polyamory, because first of all, if you feel like you're in a relationship, just like if you were only in a relationship with one person, but you felt like the relationship wasn't legitimate, like that's already gonna hinder the relationship. It's already gonna hinder the way you're thinking, because you're not fulfilled by either party. So you're thinking something's missing, because if you were just with one of the parties, you still feel unfulfilled. But then you added two, but those two people who gave you feelings of just being unfulfilled. So did you ever think those were just not the right people?
No, I think, well, there was clearly something not working in my first relationship, and I was searching for someone else who could possibly fulfill my needs. And I did find somebody, and, I tried to give it a chance. I was like, if I keep an open mind and, maybe this will work out if I do this the right way. And I just never felt good about what I was doing. Like,
okay, can we clarify it first? I don't think everyone should be polyamorous. I think some people just, just like dick isn't for everyone, polyamory isn't for everyone either.
That's how I think of it.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like it's for everyone. I just want to like clear up the misconceptions, because I think some people turn to it thinking, this is going to fix my relationship, or this is going to fix my feelings about how I feel, towards relationships if I add more. But that's not true. You have to start with yourself. No, there's no magical cure to a broken relationship. It's just a broken relationship. And I think, I guess that's kind of difference with me. If you want to go into, my poly lifestyle, I've always engaged in alternative relationships. And, I was looking for something where I could feel like, I was in a relationship and this was like legitimate, because I had those feelings where, I was seeing couples and I was doing all this stuff, but, they were fun. We were friends, but it didn't really feel legitimate. And it didn't feel like I was completely satisfied, but I know I couldn't just be satisfied with one person. Especially
why
just
not?
a man.
Why not?
I just couldn't. Some people, like, I love Rob. I love him to death, but Rob will never be a woman. He'll always be my Rob. He'll be a man, and he'll be like all those things I love about him. But that doesn't mean, I don't want to be with someone that I feel is just different, just softer, just is something I like both. I've always liked both. I've never understood why, I had to be with just one. I've always felt better. It always felt more natural if I was just with both. And that was something, I had to come to terms with, because I felt like, I just wanted to be kinky. If I was going to just date women and men, it would just have to be a kinky thing. But then I realized, it's not that I'm kinky. It's just, I like what I like. Like, I like women. I like men. I love women and men together. Like, perfect combination. And I've always felt that way. For as long as I can remember, honestly, I've never, you've dated a girl before. I don't know. I like girls since I was basically in elementary school. I like boys too. I don't know. It was just always something that interested me. And I felt like if I was going to pursue it, that I had to pursue it on this purely like superficial level. And, polyamory was the answer, to me, because I could have a meaningful relationship with both parties. And, now I feel whole. Now I feel complete. I don't feel unfulfilled in the slightest. And it's not that, one person isn't doing it, or he's not like making me happy. I'm happier than I could possibly ever be in my entire life. But guess what? Happiness doesn't have a limit.
Okay, so that makes a little more sense to me now. For the record, like, this is a conversation that has needed to happen between Ann and I. So, like, not only are you getting a good show out of this, but we're, like, fixing some shit right now, because there's been some fuckery going on around our Rebel Love show parts and shit.
Rebel Love show parts and shit.
And shit. But, yeah, so, I get where you're coming from. That makes a little more sense.
I feel like people have, like I said, like, people have made mistakes too. Like, I feel like Rob, it definitely in the beginning when he had like 5 or 6 girlfriends, and then you were like, this bitch, like, why would you, And I feel like, we all had to learn and we all had to grow. And I honestly, it's not that I want him to go out and just like fuck people. Like, I'm not like, hey, babe, you should go out and just see some bitch on the street and fuck her. Like, no, I've never once said that. I want him to be happy. I want him to find someone who makes him happy. Sex is a side of that, is not the whole thing, because, that's purely physical. And that's, in a way, if I thought he was just, just going out and just fucking people, like, that's a very emotionless thing. And we're very emotional people. Though I want him to be happy, not at the expense of my happiness or his.
So when we come back, I'm going to tell you a story about some polyfuckery that I just had.
Oh yeah, this is going to be good, guys. Stay tuned.
It's some shit, so stick around.
New Hampshire is under quarantine as walking corpses devour the flesh of the living. Max is 11 years old and surviving alone. Slow-moving and non-thinking, the dead swarm his home. Now he must apply his Porcupine Freedom Scouts training to improvise his escape. Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, or read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market, making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing. To be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com. The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
If you're looking for work, or even if you're not, here's an innocent mistake you really want to avoid. Never return calls before listening to your voicemail. Your wireless phone sends calls you didn't answer into voicemail, and it shows you phone numbers for calls you missed. Important. Don't call back callers you missed until you have first listened to your messages. Otherwise, you frustrate people who bothered to leave messages by asking them to repeat a message they just left as your voicemail greeting instructed them to. If you're a job applicant, this alone could be a deal killer. And even if you're not, there are few things you can convey to someone that are as fundamentally maddening as, "I didn't hear you." With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. For more tips for job seekers and everyone else, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Welcome back to Seditious Sirens. As I told you before the break, I'm going to tell you a little story about some bullshit that I was involved in a couple days ago. Started with me paying $50 for a cabin in Manchester, ended with me crying in Anne's bathroom for like a good half hour.
That's some basic bitch shit, first of all. Basic.
Yeah, I know.
So basic.
I know.
And I told you so.
Oh my God, Anne totally told me so. Again. So, I'd been like kind of seeing this guy. Like, we'd been hooking up. I liked him.
Decent guy.
And we'd been friends for a really long time. And I trusted him. And, you know, if he'd asked me to be his girlfriend, I don't know, I probably would have said yes. But, yeah. So I was without my car for a fucking week, okay? Like, that's why we didn't have a live show last week. I was stuck in Keene because my car has been in the fucking shop and it was a pain in the ass. So, oh my God, I was so fucked. Anyways, so I wanted to come to Manchester to see him, and I'd found a way here pretty much every night. And so I couldn't find a ride, and I ended up taking a cab, paid $50, and, you know, I called him up before, and I was like, hey, like, if you want to see me tonight, I'll come see you. Like, you know, I like going home to somebody I care about after a rough day of work. So, when I called, his ex-girlfriend was there, and, you know, I was like, oh, you know, whatever, because last I knew, they had been like fighting or whatever, and but she was my friend and he was my friend, and I liked them both when they were together. I was like, before him and I were a thing, I was like, great, like they're together, that's great, like good for both of them. I like them both, good pair. And when shit went south, I wasn't expecting to like pull a robbery on this girl. Not that she owns him or anything, but like I have a thing about dating my friends' exes, and
well, you still did it. You still dated him,
right? Well,
and you didn't tell her.
Hold it. Number one, we were not dating.
Yeah. That's
Number
true.
two, I did tell her.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, we were hanging out, and it came up, and I was like, look, like, I'm sorry. I definitely wasn't waiting around for you to leave or anything. Like, this just happened. Like, I hope we can still be cool. And, she didn't care. Like, she was totally cool about it. And, I wasn't expecting her to be. And, I was glad that we could still be cool. So, but, she made it clear that they were done. Crap. They made it clear, they made it clear that they were done. I was like, damn it.
Finish.
Anyways, so I went there the other night and she was there, and I was like, great, you patched things up. And then she goes to leave and he pulls her in and kisses her. And I was like, hold up. I just paid $50 to come here and hang out with you for the night. You can kiss me in like 2 seconds. And that isn't enough for you? Like, you had this other girl doing, like, whatever while you were over there, knowing I was going to be there.
Okay, wait. Can we freeze? So this is how this relates, because he, if I'm not mistaken, said, oh, well, I thought we were polyamorous.
This was after the fact. And we weren't exclusive. So, technically he didn't do anything really wrong.
You guys hadn't talked about anything, though. Like, that's
no,
the thing.
I mean, he kind of like teased at the fact that like he might ask me to be his girlfriend. And
so you thought
like,
that was a possibility.
Right.
Bottom line, you didn't think that he, you show up to his house and he'd be kissing anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, if this, just freeze. If this was you, like, you don't want to show up at someone's house expecting to see them and then, they're fucking someone else on the couch. Like, it's gonna throw you off regardless.
Yeah, and
but
mind you,
this guy, just Jesus.
And mind you, I've known him for almost 5 years now. So, I mean, we were really tight at one point.
Yeah, I mean, I think
so. One would think I would know. I've seen him in multiple relationships, and
well, I mean, I don't know.
Never known him to be poly ever.
As my knowing of this guy, I mean, I think is not necessarily poly. I think he's just self-interested, and I think, his idea of polyamory is just, okay, I can do whatever I want. I can screw whoever I want, whenever I want, if I feel like it. And whoever I'm with needs to be down with that. And I think that's where the miscommunication came, because you never said you weren't down with that.
Right, and that had happened before too, but I feel like I shouldn't have to clarify. I mean, I guess in this community, yeah, I guess you do have to be like, hey, I'm not poly, just for the record. But normal people, when they're dating,
normal people ask. Maybe he that's the thing. I personally did not approve of this guy. Not that I'm Renee's parent or anything. I just think that she should be dating and not sticking to one guy, because guys are dumb. Guys are stupid. Guys smell.
Some do.
Guys, all of them. Just
Not
Jesus.
all of
the
them.
men. Ugh, this is my poly. I mean,
Seems like all of them.
My feminist rant. Men, Jesus.
Oh God, you used the F word.
What? I used the F word?
You used the F word.
What?
Feminist.
Feminist. The F word. Yes, a raving feminist. But anyway, I mean, I feel like sometimes, especially if they're not ready, I'm gonna say, or not like mature enough to wanna be in a relationship, I feel like all guys, especially if they're not serious, just do that. They don't care. They kind of lead you on. They play these head games. Not that women don't do the same thing, because you can't ever say you've never done the same thing to someone.
You mean
like pretend like you're leading them on, like, oh, like, yeah, I'm sleeping with you, but oh, I really could never ever, like, I don't like this guy for real.
Well, I've had relationships that have started out differently and then ended that way. You know, you were there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you never know, like, where people are versus where you are, because that guy didn't feel the same way. He felt like, I like this girl. I think we're having a pretty good time here. You felt like, oh, well, not really.
So I was like, but I'm also with this other guy, and oh my god, I can't be with you too. Or I have no idea what's going on. This is polyfuckery.
Yeah, it was a bunch of polyfuckery, I guess, in a different meaning. But I think the thing is, whether you're mono or you're poly, boundaries have to be clear. It's not just in this community. You have to state what you want, because people will treat you how you let them. And as long as you're saying, oh, well, it's okay for you to treat me this way, or, I'm not going to ask, what we're doing here or what our boundaries are. Yes, you do have to communicate those things. Like, I don't know if it's poly that has made me such a communicator, but I feel like I've always been like this, even when I was just dating. Like, I am not playing anyone's game or anything, because Jesus, no, I can't. Like, if you want to be serious or if you don't want to be serious, either way is fine, but you need to tell me where we stand.
And sometimes I am a bad communicator, but you can always count on me being honest. But to conclude this, I, as if it wasn't insulting enough that he just kissed this other girl in front of me, he then goes to grab me to kiss me. And I'm like, what the fuck? No, don't touch me. Get away from me. What? And and he was like, what's wrong?
Wait, did
and
you go off in front of the girl?
No. I waited till she walked away because I was in absolute shock. And even while she was standing there, I had the feeling, I had the instinct of something is not right here. And I should have trusted my instinct. But so she leaves. He goes to kiss me. I'm like, absolutely not. And he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. And I was just so frazzled. And I was like, I just can't be here right now. I'm going to Robin Ann's. And he's like, can I walk there? I'm like, no, bye. And ran here in a tizzy. They were doing the Rebel Love show. I stormed in and ran to the bathroom and just cried on their floor like a pathetic mess. I then come out. There's 10 people in here. I'm still crying and won't tell anybody what's wrong. And it was horrible. And we proceeded to shoot texts back and forth all night. Oh, that was fucked up. And he's like, why? And I'm like, what do you mean why? And he's like, I'm poly. And I'm like, since when? And he's like, it's just the way it is. And I was like, okay, but don't you think a heads up would have been cool? And he's like, sorry, I'm a bad communicator. And I'm like,
that's bullshit, though.
That's a piss poor excuse. And every guy I've ever been with has cheated on me, so it was a huge PTSD shit.
Okay.
But we'll be back and I'll tell you more.
Showing Renee healthy relationships.
But yeah, we'll be back.
Free Talk Live.
I cannot imagine anyone ever calling a cigarette interdiction hotline.
That'd be great.
What would that conversation be like?
Well, I'm calling because I can't stop smoking.
Sir, do you have a cigarette right now?
Well, yes.
Is it lit?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you have an ashtray?
Yes.
Okay, you know when you're done with your cigarette and you put it out?
Uh-huh.
Okay, try that right now.
But it's not.
Go ahead and do that same motion.
I can imagine the conversations.
What the hell could they
Is it 24 hours?
I just don't get
Just
it.
someone call him. I can't do it anymore.
It's dumb.
I smoked the whole cigarette.
I only get motivated at 3 a.m. Help me out. There's nobody there.
I've smoked all my money away, and now my wife's left me, and she took the dog and the kids. I got no money left. I've smoked it all.
I was breaking into my neighbors' houses and pawning their TVs for more cigarettes.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
If you can't listen to the Liberty Radio Network's internet streams, free satellite channel, or radio affiliates, no worries. You can listen to LRN.FM from any phone, anywhere. Add this number to your phone, 213-493-0309. It's a long-distance call, so make sure you're familiar with your phone's calling plan. The Liberty Radio Network listen lines are locked into our stream 24 hours a day. Call 213-493-0309. That's 213-493-0309. Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
More Seditious Sirens is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, June 19th, 2015. Silver is trading at $16.19 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,202 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $249. Antiwar.com reports the first 3 days of the Yemen peace talks in Geneva were pretty unproductive, but at least no one got hit. The situation took a turn for the worse on Thursday when the Houthis' attempt to hold a press event was attacked by supporters of the Hadi faction. Houthi delegate Hamza al-Houthi was delivering his address to the assembled media when one of the Hadi delegates rushed the stage and threw a shoe at him. Shoes started flying back and forth despite Houthis, and before long, fistfights were reported between the two factions. The Hadi government resigned back in January after the Houthis had taken over the capital city of Sana'a. The Saudis attacked Yemen in March, demanding the Hadi forces be reinstalled. After 3 months of war, however, there is no sign of this happening, and the Houthis still control most of the country. The peace talks got off to a bad start when the Hadi faction demanded that the Houthis surrender every city in the country as a condition of direct talks. Very little has come of the peace talks, however, and the fight is probably going to be the most noteworthy thing that's happened. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Coinbase. Coinbase is a simple and secure online Bitcoin wallet for sending, receiving, and storing Bitcoin. Coinbase also allows you to buy and sell Bitcoin using a bank account or use their tools to accept Bitcoin as a merchant. All of your funds on Coinbase are safe, with approximately 90% of customer funds being stored offline, and all wallets are stored using AES 256 encryption. Get started at coinbase.fppradio.com. UPI reports the Federal Communications Commission on Thursday voted in favor of covering broadband internet access for low-income households with a telephone subsidy program it has offered for 30 years. 3 of the 5 members of the FCC voted in favor of reforming the program called Lifeline to include web access. Established in 1985, the Lifeline program has provided qualifying low-income Americans with a $9.25 per month subsidy towards phone service. Thursday's vote favors expanding it to include broadband internet, though the final structure of what that may look like is yet to be determined. Expanding the program still needs further government approval, where there is opposition to the expansion proposal. Some critics believe the $2 billion per year Lifeline program is already rife with abuses and fraud, and that the existing program should be fixed before it should be expanded. One Republican commissioner said in a report by The Hill, "We still have a long way to go if we are going to fix this program. Waste, fraud, and abuse are still rampant." In a news release Thursday, however, the FCC indicated that abuses of Lifeline have largely been eliminated and that further reforms are being developed to make sure that the program is helping the poor it's designed to help. For over 35 years, Robertson & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases, permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the U.S. Supreme Court on Thursday unanimously reinstated an Ohio man's conviction for beating his girlfriend's children after he sent her thousands of miles away to engage in prostitution. The 9 justices rejected the arguments made by defendant Darius Clark that testimony given during trial by preschool teachers who talked to one of the victims, his girlfriend's 3-year-old son, should have been disallowed. The testimony in question, in which the teacher pressed the boy on injuries they had noticed, did not violate Clark's rights under the U.S. Constitution's 6th Amendment to confront his accusers, according to the court. Clark was convicted of abusing the 3-year-old boy and the boy's 18-month-old sister. He was sentenced to 28 years in prison, but appeals court threw out the conviction, saying the teacher's testimony at trial was impermissible evidence. Teachers at the boy's preschool noticed what appeared to be injuries, and during trial, the teachers testified about the conversations they had with the boy. Justice Samuel Alito, writing on behalf of the court, wrote that the statements were admissible at trial because the teachers were not soliciting the information with the intent of using it as evidence. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
It was on this day in 1982 that the first roller skating while carrying a boombox member of Congress was elected, when James Sugar Boots Franklin narrowly won New York's 8th congressional seat. Franklin's victory was a watershed moment at the time, signaling that America's burgeoning population of boombox-carrying roller skaters had finally gained mainstream acceptance.
Proved Congress isn't just for suits and crew cuts. Say hello to the slickest legislator on 8 wheels, James Sugar Boots Franklin.
Franklin was an unlikely pioneer, a street-smart skater who admitted to being more concerned with impressing honeys with his silky smooth moves than with politics. Franklin began organizing boombox-carrying roller skaters, advocating for basic rights like roller skate-accessible ramps in government buildings and protected street lanes where they could lay down cones for some sweet slaloming.
Just because we like to roll it out and have a smooth, fluid style that cannot be denied doesn't mean we aren't Americans. Woo! Yeah, that's right.
This is the Onion News Network.
And welcome back to Seditious Sirens. We are crossing over into the second hour, so if you've been listening to me bitch about the sadness of my romantic life for this long, I commend you. You deserve a fucking medal. So, if you didn't hear my story of woe before, I'll recap. I'm an idiot, basically. I went to go spend time with this guy, paid $50 fucking for a cab to do so, and ended up there, and he kissed some other girl in front of me, and I was all fucking bent out of shape about it. And he was like, why? And I was like, cause. And like, we weren't even exclusive. So like, I really can't even be mad at him. So I wasn't like mad. I was just like upset. And I'm still upset over it. And it sucked. So the aftermath of that, this is where I left off. So he's messaging me and he's like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to offend you. And I'm like, how could I not be offended? Like, I came all this way for you to do that. Like, you knew you could kiss me in 2 more seconds, and instead you kissed her, and you were like, you know, spending time with her, and, you know, like, you know, spend time with her.
What is
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
If you pet one dog, like, that you don't like the other dog, even though you could pet the other dog anytime. I guess using dogs isn't the perfect example.
Well, I get what you're trying to say, but I was like, why am I not enough?
I mean,
why am I not good enough? Why I just got all the same feelings back of the times that I was cheated on. I was like, why can't I just be what you want? Why do you have to have more than just me? Like, I'm gonna be here with you all night. Like, we can do whatever. Why was that not enough?
Okay, so first of all, I can relate to you in the sense of, you know, you've been cheated on, you've been hurt, and in this instant, he never said, you know, what he thought this relationship was. He never said that. And you guys never clarified, you know, what you were. So, but that still doesn't excuse, you know, if you're not going to talk about it, at least don't be rude and make out with some bitch in front of you. So I think that's why I can see your point of view of it. But I think, you know, he's blaming something else he's saying, oh well, I'm poly, and I wanted you to read or at least say what he said about monogamous relationships, which I don't know the exact quote. Well, I'm poly, which means, just because I'm poly, I do not have to inform you that that I am poly and I'm going to be making out with other girls in front of you. I think that is something that always needs to be stated. You never want surprises. You never want to be surprised in that way. Like, who wants to be surprised that way?
Yeah. And he apologized for the poor communication. And I think that that's a fucking understatement, because that is not something to fuck around with. Like, if you're poly, I think that should be put out there before anything. Like, I don't want to find out later that I swapped spit with some other bitch, like, after the fact.
You could still be swapping spit monogamously. I mean, I guess this way,
if they're lying to you, but
I don't even consider this honesty though, because he didn't tell you, he just did it. So that's not even honesty. He wasn't even being honest with you. So it's just how much regard. I don't think it's a matter of, I'm not good enough. I think it's a matter of you need to look more at him and what he thinks of himself. Like, because you have to give someone at least, the regard to think, let me consider this person's feelings. And that's something that he didn't do, which is wrong and which is hurtful. But I don't think it's a reflection on you, oh, well, I mean, I must not be enough because he feels this way. Because it probably has nothing to do with you, just the fact that he's a self-interested person and he's not thinking outside of himself. This is what makes me happy. If she's not going to deal with it, then so what? Macho, macho, macho.
Well, the way...
read the text, because I didn't he say?
Well, I don't want to do that. Like,
monogamy's.
I'll tell you, but I'm not gonna like blast this shit everywhere. But I'll give you guys
quote,
a recap.
The monogamy is slavery.
Oh, so when we were messaging back and forth, I obviously made it quite clear that I am not polyamorous. I am definitely monogamous. That's just how I roll. And he made it out to me as if monogamy were somehow owning the other person. And I think that is fucking ridiculous. So it's when you get into a relationship with somebody, just as you with any relationship, you have come to an agreement. Maybe the agreement is, oh, we can sleep with other people as long as we talk about it. Oh, maybe we can maintain other emotional relationships as long as we are open and honest about it. Or maybe it's, you can sleep with other people, but I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Or maybe
which is ridiculous. Why would you not want to know what is going inside of you?
Well, there are some people that, might not be able to handle it, but might want to have... I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But he
my chair just broke. It's gone.
Oh, that's not good.
I know.
It happens though.
Yeah, it does.
Studio malfunctions again. But I think that's ridiculous. It's an agreement, no matter what it is.
But an agreement involves communication.
Right. But so when even if you're like hiring a birthday clown for a party for your 7-year-old child, you have contracted that you're going to pay this birthday clown $8 an hour to be there for your kid or whatever and entertain, blow up balloon shit, blah, 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 blah. Does that mean that you own the fucking birthday clown because you've made an agreement? No.
Just like if you're polyamorous and you make an agreement, that doesn't mean you never own anyone. And I think that's a total misconception. Like me and Rob were together, just me and him for a while, and now we're a triad, but we'll get into that. And I never felt like I owned him, and I never wanted to feel like I owned him, even if it was just us dating. And I think even in monogamous relationships, you should look at things as if you're a team. And that is why, 9 times out of 10, marriages don't work because people are so separate. They're it's kind of weird to think of it that way. Like polyamory is bringing everyone more together, but people are so self-interested that they're, they don't want to share. They want to look at everything as different and separate, which is fine. But I mean, it's supposed to be a teamwork. If you love each other, you want to be a part of each other's lives, that is a real dedication. And I think people aren't accounting for that when they think of multiple relationships. Relationships take a lot of work, a considerable amount of work, and both parties have to want to put that in. Whether, even if it's more people, it's just more work, which is like so much work at that point. Jesus, like I should be having brain muscles at this point, trying to, make sure that, everyone is communicating, everyone is engaged, everyone feels, wanted and accepted and needed. And, that's what I'm doing with multiple peoples. I definitely think that's what you should be doing with one person. It should be about free love, even if it is just two people. And I think that's kind of just a cop-out, saying, oh, well, monogamy is slavery. But like, you don't even want, multiple serious relationships. You just want to stick your dick in everyone. And that is something totally different. And
the way he put it to me, he wouldn't want either one of us to have to break confines to make the other happy. Like he didn't want to set conditions or like have the other one change the other one to make the other happy. And my thing is, if I'm in a relationship and I'm happy in my relationship, I just don't have the desire to be with other people because I'm happy where I am. So why would I want more? I find it rude, but that's just me. Anyways, stay tuned. We'll be back with more polyfuckery and polyamory and alternative relationships and just fuckery. Stay tuned for fuckery.
If worst comes to worst, will you be prepared? You don't have to be a survivalist to prepare for the unexpected. Storing necessary supplies like food, water, and emergency equipment is simply taking responsibility for ourselves and our families when it counts the most. StrategicShelters.com offers emergency supplies and a secure way to store them, and provides protection for loved ones in the event of an extreme natural or man-made disaster. To find out more, visit StrategicShelters.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way.
You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs that you're going to rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually.
Whoa, excuse me. Hey,
who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video, audio allowed in this.
No, I have work today. You ain't gonna make it. Wait now. Wait a minute.
Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Because you're scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this?
Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. DVD, books, music, instruments, periodicals, computers, software, electronics, photo, cell phone, office products, home and garden, bed and bath, furniture, kitchen, pet supplies, automotive, hardware, apparel, shoes, jewelry, grocery, healthcare, sports and outdoors, toys, games, used, and more. It's a department store at your fingertips. Shop.lrn.fm. Get all your shopping done, get a great deal, and a portion of your purchase goes to benefit the Liberty Radio Network when you shop at Amazon via shop.lrn.fm. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Did you know that you can listen to LRN.FM 24/7 via our free-to-air satellite channel? From Mexico to Canada, our signal covers nearly all of North America. All you need is a view of the southern sky, an affordable receiver, and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you're a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage map and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm.
This is a national health care alert from the Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You could qualify for a pain-relieving knee brace at little or no cost to you. Get free delivery, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers at no charge to you. So if you're on Medicare and have knee pain, don't wait. You may qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving knee brace at little or no cost. Friendly agents are standing by 24/7 to help you. We also have other pain-relieving braces too for your shoulder, ankle, or back. You may be eligible to get these items and more at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Our friendly representatives are standing by now to help you, so please call now. 800-301-2963, 800-301-2963, 800-301-2963, 800-301-2963.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at lrn.fm.
Welcome back to Seditious Sirens. Well, when we left off, we were going on about my story of woe still.
If you have ever listened to Seditious Sirens before, you'd know about Renee Cake, Free Love's Angry Rants. We're just getting a little bit more into polyamory, and I just want to say, like, I am a polyamorous person, and I'm very proud of that. I mean, I've always been into alternative relationships, and you know, it makes me feel like this is who I am, and I can be who I am, and you know that my friends and are accepting of that. And, you know, that makes me feel good, especially people in the community. If I still have a girlfriend, they're like, oh, well, yeah, I'd love to meet her. Like, they don't even blink an eye. And, you know, it kind of...
Except me. I slow blinked.
Except for her. She was kind of mean about it. It hurt my feelings a little.
Oh, my God. I was not mean. I was just like, oh, this is different.
Yeah.
It's new.
It takes a while to adjust, I can say.
Exactly.
I can give credit for that. And I think everyone just... You know, we're a family. We are a big, dysfunctional, fucking clusterfuck of a family, but a family nevertheless. I mean, I definitely think, just like, I feel like, you know, if you're gonna be polyamorous and you're gonna add someone to your relationship, you should let them know that. I definitely think, you know, even it's all a transition and an adjustment. Like, just because, you know, even if he had said, you know, I'm poly from the beginning, why jump straight to just kissing someone in your face? You know,
yeah.
Like, you have to discuss boundaries, because you're supposed to have at least enough respect for someone to know what makes them feel comfortable or uncomfortable. Like, you're just fucking going for it, man. Like,
if he said he was poly, I would have been like, okay, bye. Because I can't handle that. I know my limits. I can't handle that. I could not do what you do, and I would go fucking nuts if I knew that I left for work and within like a few hours he was fucking some other girl. I'd freak the fuck out.
But like, I mean, I don't feel that way, because I mean, I don't know. That's physical. And I like the fact that he's happy. I like the fact that, you know, he finds someone who makes him happy. And I do want to say one more thing about polyamory, because I don't want to jump too much into, you know, the faults and stuff. But I think what's really good about it is that I really, I have a lot of confidence. I have a lot of confidence in myself. I'm a generally confident person. And, you know, I try to radiate that. And a lot of that is taking time out with myself. being by myself, knowing that, you know, I can be alone and not be lonely. And I think that takes a lot of restraint and a lot of, you know, working on that personal relationship with yourself. And I think people forget about that relationship, and that's crazy because you do have to take care of yourself. And, you know, I think polyamory, I mean, Shardu said this once on a show he did, probably a Rebel Love show, but who knows, that he gets to be a lazy boyfriend, and that's what he likes about polyamory. Which, I mean, so that's his thing, but it kind of just made me think of, you know, that is what it is. It's not that, you know, you're being lazy, but you get to spend that time, you know, to figure out, you know, okay, let me examine myself and work on myself. And I think polyamory allows me to not just have multiple relationships with others, but it allows me to have that relationship with myself. And that really keeps me as the positive, happy, confident person that I am. I'm not, and I've never been the type of person who, you know, I'm a very independent person, and I spent a lot of time with myself. So it's kind of hard for me to, if I get in a relationship, you know, to let that consume me. This is who I am now. I definitely still have to be myself, and I have to find a way to let that show and let that shine, and I can be myself while he continues to be himself. And I don't want him to stop loving himself just because he loves me. And he has a lot more love to offer someone. And I feel like I have a lot more love to offer. And like, now that we found a girlfriend, I mean, I don't know if we'll both keep looking. I definitely feel satisfied. I think he definitely feels satisfied. I think 3 is a great number. If you want me to read you the definition of a triad, I also have that up. But yeah, I can say it's probably not what most people think. Is not traditional. And I think that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this fucking radio show right now. That's why we joined the Free State Project, because who cares about being traditional? This is about doing what makes you happy, and, you know, what you want it from, you know, your heart of hearts. And like, people will judge you, of course, but I mean, if I lived my life based on, you know, people judging me, I'd be banned from Porkfest. So
people, okay, so here's New Hampshire for you. People judge me for being insecure with myself and pretty conservative when it comes to relationship, more than they judge Anne for having a girlfriend and a boyfriend. So if that's the shit you're into, move on up to New Hampshire and join the Free State Project, because
because people will be open. But I mean, it is important for me, you know, to have support, and I do want my friends to, you know, support that. And I mean, it's not that, you know, you have to like everyone I date or dislike them. It's just, you know, support is important, because you don't want to be around people who you feel like you can't be yourself around. And that's what we try to promote, you know, just being yourself, even if that is monogamous person. I mean, I do. I can't really say it. Rob's probably, I don't know, what is it, the term he wants everyone to be poly, just like everyone be poly.
Yeah, he's really fucking pushy about it.
But he I definitely think is whatever makes people happy within reason. You know, you shouldn't harm anyone else. But we're very open. We're very honest with each other. And sexually, it's the same way. We're very open and we're very honest. You know, I love him. I also love tits. That's the best way I can put it. I like women. I like the characteristics of them. I like the femininity of them. And, you know, that is something that wouldn't change just because, you know, I'm dating someone. And I think Stephanie Murphy actually described it best on Dave Bourne's Nonpartisan Liberty for All.
Plug.
I know. Plug crazy over here. She described, because she is I guess I don't think she goes by any titles, but she's allowed to date outside of the relationship, and it's because that she said that she, you know, she's in love with her partner, but she never stopped wanting to experience, you know, that bisexual side of herself, and she found it, you know, so much later in her life, I guess, that she felt like she didn't get to experience it. And you know what? I mean, I totally agree with her. I mean, it's the same, even if it's not a woman, even if it is a man, even if it's like you said, like, oh, I love who I'm with, I love my partner. But sexually, I could find someone who I love just as much. And we have different things in common sexually, even if it is a man and a man, a woman and a woman, whoever. It's whatever makes you happy. If you find someone who completes you, it shouldn't be, oh, I find someone who kind of almost makes me happy. You gotta be happy, people. Life's about happiness. But we'll talk about that when we come back.
And why I suck at relationships, apparently.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website, fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News, at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons. SWCpoker.eu is Bitcoin Poker 2.0, where players can buy chips, play, and cash out anonymously with Bitcoin. No banking, just Bitcoin. Texas Hold'em, Omaha Hold'em, Draw, and many new games, including Chinese poker. SWC Poker gladly accepts players worldwide, and over 2 million hands of Bitcoin poker have been dealt at SWCpoker.eu. Bitcoin poker from the brand you trust. SWCpoker.eu.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. You can help by joining the AMP program for just $5 a month at amp.freetalklive.com and getting perks. That's amp.freetalklive.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Are you looking for an excuse to come check out New Hampshire this fall? You're invited to Keenvention. Keenvention is your chance to meet dozens of key liberty activists from across the Shire. You can explore the beautiful little city of Keene, discuss various forms of activism with seasoned veterans, do some Robin Hooding, and learn about making the move. Keenvention received rave reviews last year. If you missed it, visit keenvention.info for full video coverage of every speaker and panel. This year's keynote speeches and panels will be announced via the Keenvention blog and Facebook, so stay tuned there for the latest. Join old and new friends and neighbors in Keene for Keenvention this October 30th through November 1st. Tickets are available now at a special early bird price of just $50 via credit card or Bitcoin. That $50 price only lasts through the end of June, so don't delay. Reserve your tickets now at keenvention.info. Visit keenvention.info for more and look for our page and event on Facebook. That's keenvention.info.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
And welcome back. Are we just gonna do this the whole rest of the
Jesus,
show?
you gotta make up your mind.
Hey, I thought the last time was pretty cute.
Whatevs.
Simultaneous introductions.
Okay,
LOL.
So one thing I wanted to explain before we left was what I am. I am a unicorn. I dressed as a unicorn for Halloween.
What the fuck
1 year.
does that mean?
A unicorn is. I will let you know. You have to wait though. I dressed as a unicorn 1 year. I was so cute. You gotta go look at my Facebook and see those pictures. Though if you like the Rebel Mistress, that's better. I'll share more stuff on there. Okay, so a unicorn is a hot bi babe. Hot bi babe. So me, Stephanie Murphy, we're unicorns. We're hot bi babes. Almost always used as a hypothetical woman who is willing to date both members of an existing couple. Agreed not to have any relationships other than the ones with the couple. Okay, that's going pretty extreme. But, I think I'm a unicorn, especially when I first started getting into this. Like, I was always, like, down for, dating both. And you don't know how hard it is to find someone who is your unicorn, because you have to find someone who's cool, someone who's laid back, someone who, you vibe with really well. And sometimes it's really hard to find those connections. Like, people think it's like we're just all just going out there and just fucking people, but it's really not that. We have to find someone we're both super connected to. And I don't know, that just happened to happen for us. I feel like we're the luckiest people ever. It's like we've been like scratching off polyamory lottery tickets, because I don't know, we both found someone who we were both mutually interested in, together and separately. And I felt like that was something that was super great, because a unicorn is so rare, which is why they call them unicorns. But you can't just, like I said, you can't just jump into anything. It all has to be a transition and an ease. And I think that everyone needs to be willing to accept the person. And I think that's why Renee over here, I don't know, I just want her to be more accepting and, to just, I don't want you to be polyamorous. You don't have to be polyamorous.
Fuck
just
that.
Don't, don't, tell us all the fuck off.
What? Okay, look, I haven't told y'all the fuck off. The way this has gone down has just been weird. The timing is weird. The timing is very weird. And I just don't get it. Not that everything I don't get is bad, but
it's a plot twist.
It's still new. It's awkward. I'm getting used to it. So sorry if I have been a bitch, but I haven't really had an opportunity to be a bitch.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Fair enough. But I mean, yeah, I think just it's very important to have support. I think you should be around people who support you and who genuinely want the best for you. And, usually that tends to, make people's lives a little less hectic.
well, you have also been hard on me for some other dudes that I've been with, and rightfully so. But granted, still hard on me, even though I've disagreed, and I put up with that. And this is what we do. This is why we're friends. We put up with each other's bullshit.
That's very true. I agree.
As long as we're not totally insensitive bitches, it's fine. So
Yeah.
you calm your tits. I'll not have a rack attack over here.
Sometimes,
and-
I mean, sometimes you can't help it. Like, we're both definitely insensitive bitches.
Yeah, but I mean,
Like,
peaceful titting over here.
Peaceful titting. I can say, like, if someone like is talking shit about Renee or something, like, I just cannot like that person. Like, if I feel like someone's like not like being, I don't know, I get really angry. I just can't like associate with that person. Like, if they try to talk to me or something,
I feel that.
I'm like, please fuck the fuck off.
Yeah, usually if you've slighted one of my friends, I'm probably not your friend.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't go for like, everybody, but I mean,
it's
most
just
of the time,
people, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know who you are, bitches. So yeah, that's ride or die over here.
Fuck yeah,
live free or die.
But does that mean I own you now because we have this agreement? Oh my God, put your hands behind your back.
Okay, so I believe in entering into private, like, okay, so take marriage for example. I don't necessarily believe in like a state regulated like marriage. No, like I feel like why should you have to like sign this piece of paper so the state can recognize you as married so you can inherit each other's debt and everyone be up in everyone else's business? Like I definitely do not believe in that, but I do believe like if you want to enter into a contract, a private contract with someone who you love and say, hey, you know, I promise to love you and these things, and I think that's fine. And even if, you know, it's more than one person, it's still, it's, you know, you guys are making the rules for your love story. I don't feel like anyone should get to make those rules for me, not the fucking state, not like not anyone, even the people who want to call me untraditional. I feel like this is my life and I should get to live it, you know, how I want to. And, you know, I want other people to be accepting and I want other people to be in our lives. Not saying, you know, I don't worry about what people will think. Like you said, yeah, some people in the liberty movement are okay with polyamory. Like I can say, hey, yeah, I'm polyamorous. Like I know we can go out, I know we can hang out and no one will judge us and everyone accepts us, which is a reason why I love being here. But we're a small community. You know, I can't go to work and say, hey, like, yeah, I have a girlfriend. I can be all giddy and like all that stuff because those people aren't thinking the same way I am. Though I mean I can, but you know, I just choose not to discuss my personal life at that point. So I mean, it has its downfalls too, and it's still like a struggle, you know, trying to, you know, it's not accepted nationwide. So just because it is accepted like internally in our community, which is great, which is why I'm here, it still doesn't make it not any, I don't know, just like just
less
like
alternative.
Yeah, exactly.
You're so
And
hipster though.
I mean, you think I'm a hipster? I would like to think of myself as a hippie, free spirit. Like, for instance, my coworkers asked me why I was taking a whole week off work, and I told them I was going to a Freedom and Unity Festival. That's all I said. Just Freedom and Unity Festival. And then one of the girls was like, "There's gonna be a lot of clouds there," and I was like, "Oh yeah, it might rain." She's like, "That's not what I meant." And I was
Okay,
like,
then.
I'm not even gonna comment on that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I feel like that's why I think it's so important for me that, you know, my friends and the people around me, I feel like accept it, because I feel like it's kind of hard when, you know, it's not really as accepted as people might think it would be in like the general population. You know, that's something that I do have to get used to, and I guess I'm not trying to force everyone to see things my way. I'll never be that person, I can promise you that.
Yeah, and you're not a salesman, and you're not like, get used to it.
Yeah,
like that's not your tone.
No, I want people to kind of just, I want them to be accepting, but more so understanding. Like, understand where I'm coming from, and I can understand where you're coming from. Even if we don't necessarily, you know, see eye to eye, we can meet in the middle. And I feel like a lot of people, they just give up and they want to just be stuck in their ways. But I feel like I can always learn something from someone else, and I've always been somewhere too. Like, I can always put myself in other people's shoes, and that's what I try to do. I just try to be the best person I can be,
Empathy,
even though I'm still a bitch. Like, don't get it wrong. Jesus.
Oh yeah, don't get her wrong. She's a huge bitch. Catch her on her time of the month.
Oh my god.
She's a
Or
mega bitch.
when I wake up in the mornings,
It's like the Hulk.
Like the Hulk.
Just saying though.
Oh my god. I had so many articles here that I wanted to read, but fuck the articles, because I'm living the lifestyle. So you know what? Fuck it.
Plus, we'll have plenty more time to talk about it at PorkFest, and like, we're gonna need a whole fucking segment to talk about all the cool shit that's gonna be going on at PorkFest. So I'll go ahead and put a hold on that. But
so, how do you think you're gonna build more healthy relationships in the future? Do you think you've learned anything?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
It's okay. I'm here for you.
Somebody just love me.
When we come back.
CopBlock has quickly become the top police accountability group in the United States, and maybe even the world.
With chapters across the globe, there's probably a group near you that you can join. If not, you can start your own. Besides joining a local Cop Block group, you can also give just $1 a month to the Cop Block Network. Your contribution helps support the efforts of those who make Cop Block possible. So please join the Cop Block Network now at copblock.lrn.fm. That's copblock.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Daryl W. Perry, and I need your help to give away my newest book. Yes, you heard that right. I want to give away my newest book, A Rebel's Journey. The book describes my path to the ideas of liberty, which began as a search for traditional values. I will only give away the book if I reach my fundraising goal of $2,500.
But wait, there's more.
If you donate, not only can you get the ebook and the audiobook for free, but you can get bonus audio content, including interviews with Jeffrey Tucker, Lynn Albrecht, Ben Stone, Gardner Goldsmith, and Stephen Kinsella. Or you can get a signed copy of the paperback book and more. Your donation will serve to replace the profits I would have earned through a more traditional publication of the book. The funds raised will allow me to get the book into the hands of more people and to promote the book to a wider audience. To find out more about the book or to donate, visit arebelsjourney.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
On LRN.FM, we talk a lot about alternative currencies. Did you know that now you can buy gold, silver, and other precious metals with Bitcoins? LRN.FM has partnered with Amaji Metals to bring you great prices on beautiful .999 fine silver, as well as gold, platinum, and other metals. Check out their selection and pay with Bitcoins or Federal Reserve notes at metal.lrn.fm. That's metal.lrn.fm.
Instead of just listening, you can also watch. See the Liberty Radio Network's key New Hampshire-based live shows via our studio cam at cam.lrn.fm. Plus, you'll still be able to listen to the Liberty Radio Network via the cam feed in high quality 24/7, even when there's no live show being produced in our Keene studio. But wait, there's more. Our chat room is built into the cam page so you can interact with other listeners online. Listen, watch, and chat, all free at cam.lrn.fm. That's cam.lrn.fm.
Cato University is the Cato Institute's premier educational event of the year. It's being held this year from July the 26th to the 31st at the Cato Institute's state-of-the-art headquarters in Washington, D.C. This annual program brings together outstanding faculty and participants from across the country and often from around the globe, with everyone sharing a commitment to liberty and learning. Cato University is a genuine community, and you can freely share viewpoints, concerns, ideas, questions, and more in an atmosphere of friendship and personal respect. It's a one-of-a-kind program for people who don't stop thinking after they got out of school. It's for people who don't want politicians or bureaucrats or officials to do their thinking for them. It's for people who value liberty. You'll learn, you'll be inspired, you'll make new friends. You'll meet great people from around the world. All of the details are spelled out at the Cato website, cato.org, and they hope to see you there this summer, July the 26th through the 31st in Washington, D.C. Again, details are at cato.org.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
And welcome back to Seditious Sirens.
She really wanted to do the intro that time.
I did. I wanted to beat her. We're wrapping up polyamory. I think Renee has some closing arguments.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking pissed because I was rereading that chat that I had with that guy and I forgot how fucking mad I was. Not about even what happened, but what the fuck he was saying to me. So at one point, I was going over like, why does every single guy cheat on me? Like the first time, it's just a confidence killer. Like it's a total fucking like stab in the back and it's shitty every time it happens. Not that, he cheated on me. Damn it. But it's still like, ouchie. Ow. But so he he was like, oh, you're not so bad, and this and that. And I was like, okay, so then why am I never enough? Why can't someone only want me? And he was like, only want me? Sounds religious, sounds like devotion. Sure would be nice to be a shrine, wouldn't it, Icky? And I'm like, what the absolute fuck? What? When did I ever say I wanted to be worshipped? Why can't somebody? I just wish that someone would care about me like I care about them.
That's enough. That's enough. You should. That is not a bad thing to want. People should care about you how you care about them. That is exactly the answer to the problem. Like, he didn't care about you how you cared about him.
How shitty.
He didn't make things clear. He is not the best person ever for doing that. I can totally agree. And you need to find people who, you know, it doesn't have to be like love at first sight, or it doesn't even have to be like super strong, but at least you know the feelings are mutual and you can build on those feelings. It shouldn't be, you know, you're totally out of the loop. And I can see how it's different in this different situation, in this different case, because of the history. But that's why I think dating is good, because you don't need people you had history with. You need someone you can grow with and be yourself, and someone who's going to love you for that, not in spite of that. And that's what everyone should be looking for when they're looking for love, is someone, you know, that they can grow with, not like for. So that's the difference. And I think people, that'll make you happier. And it's the polyamory is not the answer. Monogamy is not the answer. Fixing a lot of it has to do with, you know, the way you're thinking and the way you feel about yourself, and growing on, you know, how you can be in relationships with other people.
But I hate dating people. But
it's scary.
I hate
even
even meeting new people. But we're going to be meeting a lot of new people at PorkFest. And I like meeting people at PorkFest because PorkFest is fun and it's not awkward or scary.
This is my first PorkFest, so I'm a little scared, but I'm more excited. I'm just kidding. I'm not scared of anything.
You've been living for PorkFest.
I've been living just for PorkFest.
She hasn't even been.
It's my first time. And my outfit for Buzz's Big Gay Dance Party is going to be fucking awesome. Like, I'm gonna look totally different. That's all I can say, and that's all the intel I can give you as of right now. But you're gonna want to be there. And the Seditious Sirens are we just calling it our beach ball blowout, or what do we call it?
I don't know. I thought that was a thing. Good thing I didn't make a fucking banner. Beach ball blowout.
That would be fun. Well, there'll be beach balls.
Unless someone in the chat has a better name for it. Anybody? Sorry, I haven't acknowledged you like this whole show because I haven't even been in there.
Well, you know, we got shit to work. We got shit to do. But we're gonna have free booze. We encourage everyone to come. We'll be talking about everyone's like personal journey to PorkFest, you know, how we're doing, because, you know, it'll be my first one and I'll be super excited. We're on live Thursday at 3. And I'm sorry, I've looked at that map 1,000 times, but where are we located?
What, in Lancaster?
No, where will we be doing the show?
PorkFest? Oh. So we're going to be doing the show in the LRN studio at PorkFest. Ian comes in and he sets everything up in the studio room that's down. It's down from the motel, up from the pavilion, so like, you know, halfway in between, and you go up the stairs and there will be the LRN banner outside.
Okay,
it's beautiful.
So what is the name of that building again?
I think it's just the LRN media room.
Okay, it's on the map, and we're also on the schedule, so please come see us. There'll be great free booze,
and we have like awesome lineup.
Oh, yeah. We do. We do have a very special lineup, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. And we're going to be wearing bikinis, and we're trying to get Derek J to wear a bikini for Liberty.
Yeah, for Liberty, Derek. For Liberty.
For Liberty. So since I said him, he's going to be one of our guests, Derek J. Yeah.
Yeah, Derek J. We got Ellen Ball. We've got maybe a Shire dude. We got Rob Mathias from the Rebel Love Show. We got
the Cecilin.
The Cecilin from all sorts of shit. She's on Free Talk Live again. She does LRLS, and she's never been on Seditious Sirens. What the fuck?
It's gonna be her first time at PorkFest. It's gonna be great. She's helped organize. So I think
she's
that's
awesome.
She's like Wonder Woman.
Stephanie Murphy. I've already approached you about this. You're getting called out right now. We love you. Come be on our show at
I
Porkfest because
know.
we know you'll be there, and we love you.
We do. We're your
And
number
you're
one
gorgeous.
fans, and you're gorgeous. So you could wear a bikini.
And I have like a
which,
level 5 girl crush on you.
Speaking of bikinis, we'll be in bikinis. One of us will be wearing red, and one of us will be wearing white. And you can guess which one. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'll take your polls.
Yeah, just show up and be surprised.
Yeah, be surprised, and we'll have a totally new look, which will be super. Well, I'll look different. Renee will look slutty, which is like per usual.
You look slutty per usual. I do not.
It's just like a natural like radiation of sluttiness.
We're probably both gonna look like.
I'm most looking forward.
Harlots.
I'm besides drugs, I'm mostly looking forward to Buzz's Big Gay Dance Party.
I know,
and
so
I
excited.
think they're still holding donations for that, which
Yeah.
I want to share that on the Seditious Sirens Facebook page.
Yeah, please do. She's running out of time, and we want to help her.
Oh yeah. So
We
if
love
they
her.
don't do it next, so this is my first one, and this is gonna be the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
hopefully Flaming Freedom will take it over. Yeah, we're calling you out too because we like you.
But Flaming Freedom has so many co-hosts now. So
Yeah, but so maybe they could take over the party. 'Cause
Maybe.
they're gay. That'd be cool as hell.
Is that the requirements? You have to be gay?
Well, I guess it could be something else, like a big something else party. But
I
dude,
like the
gay
big
dance
something
party for
else
life.
party. But yeah, definitely come check us out. Share our link. We want a lot of people to come there. It's gonna be a party for all of you. And I think it's hilarious because a friend of mine from California, I posted like the link and it's like just a lady in a beach chair and it's like, oh, come see the Seditious Sirens live at Porkfest. And she's like, oh, like we need to move Porkfest to to the beach, to the tropics, because I want that. And I'm like, fuck that. Like Porkfest is the beach in the tropics
Yeah.
to me. Like
Get
it's,
up to New Hampshire. Get
oh
on my
my
level.
god, yeah, exactly. It's gonna
Get
be
on my
great.
level.
I get to spend a week with all of my best friends, just doing whatever the fuck I feel like,
Mhm.
and I can't picture anything that would possibly be better than that.
It's a sample of what a free society would be like for a week. Basically, you've got agorist vendors, you've got cool talks and panels.
CNN will
and
be there. Did you
Kick-ass
know that?
parties. Yeah, I did know
we
that.
should try to name drop ourselves for CNN because we're
I
camera
mean,
whores.
We can try shameless self promotion.
That's all I'm saying. So
Trending.
yeah, and I mean, when people ask me about it, like I was talking about earlier at work, I just say, yeah, it's like, oh, I don't even know if I said this on air. My coworkers ask me, I'm like, oh yeah, it's like this Freedom and Unity Festival. And they're like, whoa, what's that about? Is there a band? And I'm like, no, it's just a bunch of people, getting together and becoming one with nature. So I don't know what they think about me anymore at this point. Did you tell your coworkers you were going to a Libertarian Freedom Festival?
Yeah, I'm to the point where my coworkers are so cool. I'm just like, yeah, I went to DC for a huge ass Liberty conference, and
that was
we
fun.
were recognized, and like I do my own podcast, and my co-host is kick ass, and we're all.
Did you invite
kick-ass,
your
and-
co-host? Did you invite your coworkers to listen to the podcast?
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
sure
awesome.
did.
Well, hopefully one of them tuned in. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to be open with it. I'm just not that close with anyone yet, and it's such a small office. Like, I'd rather them think I'm weird than anything.
My coworkers are so kick ass. Like I don't have to lie to them as long as I do a good job explaining myself because
Yeah, you do have to do. You can't just go. You can't just go off. You have
Yeah.
to go. You have to ease it onto them. I think.
Yeah. And I'm done living a double life. Like I did that shit for so long. Nah. Like I'm just bearing it all, being
Yeah.
me from now on.
I like
Fuck
that.
you if you don't like it.
Exactly. A big fuck you to everyone. We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
I think it's about damn time.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys really do come see us at Porkfest. If we've never met you before, especially come say hi. We like new friends.
We'll take photos with you and shit if
We-
you're really that into us. you
We
know?
we like new people.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're always down to make a friend. And I'll be doing s'mores for smiles and hugs. That's gonna be like my side event because they do that at Burning Man. They just give away free creme brulee, so I'll be giving away free s'mores for smiles and hugs.
You fucking damn hippie. Damn hippie.
I'll be on acid. Okay. And remember, sedition is sexy.
Following this afternoon's arrest of Congress on the charge of over 23 million counts of manslaughter, our reporter spoke to Mark Westnick from Savannah, Georgia, just one of the many Americans that has lost a loved one due to the legislative branch's criminal negligence.
Because of Congress, my 23-year-old son died 2 years ago in Afghanistan. My nephew, he lost his leg in Iraq in 2006, and my brother died in Vietnam in 1969. Congress killed my family.
Defense attorneys for the now incarcerated 538-member group have dismissed the claims made by Westnick and other victims and released a statement saying their client has been, quote, a pillar of the national community for over 200 years and completely innocent of any and all wrongdoing. Keep checking theonion.com for more as this story develops.
This is the Onion News Network.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. You likely buy all kinds of things online. Amazon is the largest online retailer. You can get what you need at the same great prices, and LRN gets a cut. Please do your online shopping at shop.lrn.fm.
When I found the Free State Project, I knew it was the key to achieving liberty in my lifetime. It's awesome to be surrounded by like-minded, freedom-loving activists who've moved here to New Hampshire. From politics to civil disobedience, we have it all. Where I came from, it felt that no matter what I did, liberty was dying. Perhaps you feel the same way? Call 888-377-2515 now to learn more about the Free State Project. That's 888-377-2515 or visit freestateproject.org.
The latest episode of Off the Air Live is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, June 19th, 2015. Silver is trading at $16.19 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,202 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $249. Antiwar.com reports the first 3 days of the Yemen peace talks in Geneva were pretty unproductive, but at least no one got hit. The situation took a turn for the worse on Thursday when the Houthis' attempt to hold a press event was attacked by supporters of the Hadi faction. Houthi delegate Hamza al-Houthi was delivering his address to the assembled media when one of the Hadi delegates rushed the stage and threw a shoe at him. Shoes started flying back and forth despite Houthis' attempt to keep talking and ignore the disruption, and before long, fistfights were reported between the two factions. The Hadi government resigned back in January after the Houthis had taken over the capital city of Sana'a. Saudis attacked Yemen in March, demanding the Hadi forces be reinstalled. After 3 months of war, however, there is no sign of this happening, and the Houthis still control most of the country. The peace talks got off to a bad start when the Hadi faction demanded that the Houthis surrender every city in the country as a condition of direct talks. Very little has come of the peace talks, however, and the fight is probably going to be the most noteworthy thing that's happened. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Coinbase. Coinbase is a simple and secure online Bitcoin wallet for sending, receiving, and storing Bitcoin. Coinbase also allows you to buy and sell Bitcoin using a bank account or use their tools to accept Bitcoin as a merchant. All of your funds on Coinbase are safe, with approximately 90% of customer funds being stored offline, and all wallets are stored using AES 256 encryption. Get started at coinbase.fppradio.com. UPI reports the Federal Communications Commission on Thursday voted in favor of covering broadband internet access for low-income households with a telephone subsidy program it has offered for 30 years. 3 of the 5 members of the FCC voted in favor of reforming the program called Lifeline to include web access. Established in 1985, the Lifeline program has provided qualifying low-income Americans with a $9.25 per month subsidy towards phone service. Thursday's vote favors expanding it to include broadband broadband internet, though the final structure of what that may look like is yet to be determined. Expanding the program still needs further government approval, where there is opposition to the expansion proposal. Some critics believe the $2 billion per year Lifeline program is already rife with abuses and fraud, and that the existing program should be fixed before it should be expanded. One Republican